Start the live stream.
That's sad. Her daughter died.
Wait, what?
Her daughter died.
I wouldn't bring that
No, I'm
up.
not going to bring it up. But she was at 38 years old. Oh. She died of cancer 2002 at age of 38 after recovery.
Are we live?
Yes, we are.
All right, everybody. I know it's not Wednesday, so you're probably shocked to find out what I'm doing here, sitting here at like 4 o'clock on a Tuesday night, Tuesday afternoon.
With the lovely Jersey Jewel, too.
Two lovely ladies here. We're doing a special live interview with Carol Burnett, which is a very rare moment, and so we wanted to make sure that we do it live. And I'm joined by my co-host Gisela Bella and one of the Hamilton Radio's premier hosts, Jerry Petito.
I'm so honored. Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. And that's going to cost you a fribble.
You got it.
But yeah, we're going to be joined shortly by Carol Burnett, and hopefully, I hope you all take the ride with us. We're not going to have much time with her, but we're going to try.
It's a good 15 minutes of your time.
Yeah, so hopefully,
That's cool.
we're going to get the questions that almost everybody wants to hear, and I just hope you tune in and we'll watch live.
So while we're waiting for Carol to call in, we'll see how is Jerry doing?
I heard you're a Hall of Famer now, Jerry.
December 3rd, I get inducted, guys.
Wow.
All internet, international. How cool is that?
That is
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yep, and it started here at Hamilton Radio. Now I'm on 5 networks, which is incredible, and here we are.
That's it. That's the way to do it. You got to keep plugging away.
Yep. Here we
All
are.
positive things too.
That's it.
So out of your whole history with Hamilton Radio, what has been your favorite show that you put together so far?
I don't even know how to answer that, Gisela.
I know.
Honestly,
I
don't
put you on
even
the
know
spot. There has to
You
be
did put
one
me on the
that
spot.
stands out.
Um,
You know, I have a favorite.
you do?
I do. I still have it. Julia Scotty.
Okay.
You know?
Oh yeah, I know her.
Yep.
Yeah,
When
I
she
met her.
came in and this game sucks.
That's
You know, like,
great.
No, I thought it was William Shatner because all he did for the whole 15
No.
minutes we had him was hit on
William
us for 9
Shatner
minutes.
was like, yeah. Well, that wasn't
My-
interesting to me.
My favorite, of course, was Ken Brady from the Casinos.
Oh
I had a
wow.
feeling you were going to say that.
And then, of course, Michael D. Moore from the Caprice.
Michael Diamond.
But yes, Ken Brady from the Casinos.
Do you know, actually, my father was friends with Nick Santo
Oh, really?
from the Caprice years
Really?
ago.
Oh,
Because that was going back, but it's funny. You know who I liked? The guy that said he knew everything about sports but got every question
that's
wrong.
great. That was the best, right?
I would say that would be your favorite show, right,
That
Carlo?
is so great. That was
What
so
happened
great.
to the girl that was like a bagel store owner and then just was like...
She's a mom now, Sam.
Aw.
Samantha Lillis?
Samantha. She's
Congratulations, Samantha.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A mom now. Yep.
See, life happens, Carlo.
Yeah, I guess.
Some people actually do things.
I guess bagels are erotic and they cause childbirth.
Well, you know, they definitely it's part of a craving, I'm sure.
They got to put a disclaimer of eating bagels may lead to childbirth.
That's funny.
So we should be hearing from her around 4:15. Hopefully there's no glitches because I
No.
don't want no glitches today.
Because of what happens? You get stitches? No.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. So anyway, so you went to the Carol Burnett show. How was that?
Oh yeah, you went to the.
I went because you guys gave us the tickets, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
The Carol Burnett show was so awesome, and she did a very long show, which just blew me away. And it was like me sitting there at my TV with my family
Aw.
growing up. It was
What was it
beautiful.
like a reflection?
So it took
of-
you back.
Yes, it took us back. She did a reflection, and she had a screen, and she showed all the greats that have ever
Oh,
been on her show,
wow.
little clips. It was beautiful.
Aw.
I got to say, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That
It was
show
well done.
Yes.
Was ahead of itself, even for its time.
That's right.
You know,
I know. I had my kids. I couldn't go in. Where were you?
I had
with
a
Paul.
gig. Yeah,
Right, you
that's
had-
why I couldn't go.
Oh, man, I was so happy.
I was gonna go, but when I found out that she has like no free time and there would be no meet and greet, I said, nah, I'll pass.
But I got to raise my hand and I got to talk to her, so that was pretty cool.
That is pretty
What was
cool.
your question?
My question was, I said, hi, Carol. I'm a huge fan. I grew up watching you. You're incredible. I can't believe I'm here. I said, and I'm a radio show host. I said, how do I get an interview? And she gave me her agent's name and said
Wow.
to email him, which I'm going to do. But here I am with you guys.
See
So
that?
this is incredible.
Well, I've been trying. You know what? There's lots of celebrities
Oh my
that
God, this was the 2 year.
this is the thing with trying to book guests. Some of them take 2 emails. Others take 17. Some never happen. So it's just the way it is.
Yes.
It all depends on.
Or some say yes and truly never happened.
Well, that's the whole thing. I hate when they confirm and they're like, yeah, 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 and then all of a sudden they pull the wool out from under you. And you know what? It gets me frustrated. But you know what?
And I'm the diplomatic one. He's the one that gets upset.
Oh, I get mad. And I'm not going to do it anymore. But I send like really nasty. Why are you wasting my time?
He's very bad. I go, Carlo, they have no control.
Stop.
They're like the middle guy. You're shooting the messenger.
No, no.
That's funny.
You are shooting the messenger
That's funny.
sometimes.
It's not
Do we
funny,
got a
but-
call, Ruben? Oh, I
No.
thought I heard some. But no, the publicists control everything. They can make it happen if they want. Let me tell you something. From years of dealing with them, if an artist or a celebrity says, it's my manager, it's not me, they're lying. It's them that control everything. The publicists can say they can.
Right. But a lot of them really do a lot of research.
But
And no matter what network you're from, if they feel that you're not a perfect fit, they're not going to set up the interview, regardless of who you're associated with or who you're syndicated with. If they feel your show is not a perfect fit for their celebrity, you're not getting
well,
the
that's
interview.
the whole thing. But they are the gatekeepers. They're there to filter out things, and it's
You
persistent.
still have to be diplomatic.
Persistence helps. I listen. I give them everything. The mistake that people make, don't give them too much information in
Yes.
an opening email. Say, I'd like to say, this is what I do, and I like to see about setting up an interview on such and such a date, and that's it. And then I let them, what do you need from me? You know what I'm saying? Go for it.
Right. Less is more.
Right.
Less is more.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to have a little school. I was actually bringing it up to Ruben. I said, maybe we could have like a little class on how to, cold contact, but, on a professional level,
Yeah, well.
not
I
on a
mean,
high school.
the whole thing is that, and the upside is once you get in with a publicist, then she feeds you everything.
Right.
And I've had that. I've got like a dozen different publicists that'll give me anything I want. Oh, can you do? And sometimes you might have to take the little fish to get the big fish. So
Right.
it's a trade-off. So it's worth it though.
You never know.
All right, where is it?
It's only 4:13. Relax.
It's Carol Burnett, man. We're
Exactly.
too excited.
I
We're
know.
too excited.
And it's like, you're waiting for the queen. The
Okay.
queen has the right to
Wanna
come in
laugh?
even a little tardy.
She, believe it or not, she is the queen.
Exactly.
She is the queen.
So we have to be patient. You're waiting for royalty.
Well, yes.
And that's it. But I'm so glad that Jerry's here.
I'm so glad. Oh
I
my
really am.
gosh.
It was really nice. Divine intervention, you see? It works.
Yeah,
does.
because Paul was supposed to come, but he couldn't
Exactly.
make it. Eddie Clark was supposed to come. He couldn't make
Well,
it.
she wasn't supposed to be on today. This is why it's divine intervention.
Yep.
We were supposed to have a Thursday.
We were supposed to have Thursday, but then her publicist called me and says, "Listen, can you do tomorrow?" So I had to, I had to
That
wake.
is so cool for
Do
me.
you see
yeah,
that?
I had to wake Ruben up because now he should have, he was siestaing, but now he gets to go do DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub.
Thankfully, right? It's nice that they have these things out there for people to earn money,
Yeah. Well, I mean. So what's going on at Friendly's?
A lot. I do a lot of different events, a lot of fundraisers.
How come you don't do your show live from there every week?
I like the souls. What are you
no.
doing now with the souls?
The Souls for Souls?
Yes.
This is awesome. Okay. A 12-year-old boy named Zach Miller. For his bar mitzvah, his goal is 25,000 pair of shoes.
Aw.
And he's not going to stop until he gets them. And I think he's at somewhere around 7,500.
Wow.
Oh,
So
wow.
we've got boxes for him. December 9th, a Monday night, if you guys
Okay,
are
day
available.
before my birthday.
Okay, we're doing what we did this last year. We're doing the tree lighting, a menorah lighting. We're
When is
doing
it?
It's December 9th, Monday night. Magicians, of course. We've got Santa, the real Santa coming, toys for kids. And we've got boxes. His boxes we're putting everywhere outside.
Okay.
And he's going to do a little speech as well because I
That's-
just
Oh,
think he's
wow.
incredible.
So you're doing shoes
Yep.
and
Shoe
socks
drive.
or just
No, just shoes.
Okay.
Shoes for cruise.
You know, he's
I like
sending them
that.
everywhere.
Souls for souls.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. I
So-
caught my attention. I was like, "Ooh, this is something
So
interesting."
cool, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Okay, any second now. It's 4:15, so not too bad.
yeah.
I like that. Souls for souls. So that's December 9th. And what
Yeah.
time is that?
Everything's starting like 5-ish.
Okay.
Yep,
And you're having live entertainment and
yes.
everything throughout.
yep. It's going to
That's
be
pretty
cool.
cool. We'll be in the Dominican Republic that
For your
week.
birthday?
For my
Happy
birthday and
birthday,
our
baby.
anniversary
Oh, there you
of
go.
6 years.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I actually got my passport for the first time in my life
Wow.
at the age of 42. Right?
Oh.
But I'll be 40. Well, actually, I'll still be 42
Yes.
upon flight. And when I get back
You'll
home,
be older
I'll be
when you
43.
get, you'll be younger before you leave. You'll be older
I'll be
when
43
you get home.
when I get back from the Dominican Republic. Because we're leaving the day before anniversary and coming back the day after my birthday.
Should
Right?
we
How
call
about-
her in case she's trying
I
to
don't
call
have
in?
anything to.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
That's the only bell thing.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah, but
just make
you're
sure.
communicating with Jane.
Jane.
Okay.
Yes. Tell her I told her me Tarzan.
There it is.
Okay.
That's it.
This
it's
could
coming
be.
up. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Do we have a number? Hello. All right, hold on.
Okay.
Hello.
Yep. Hello. Oh, I hung up.
Did we?
Oh, no.
Hello. We lost it. Hopefully, because it's.
She probably thinks it's the wrong number if we were talking.
No,
No,
can't call that back.
That's
there it is.
Okay.
Come on.
It's like New Year's Eve.
I know.
It's like a root canal.
This is so cool. Thank you.
Oh, you're gonna owe me one.
I will.
And I know just what I want too.
A fribble.
No, I want James D. Train Williams.
Oh, you got it.
I like because I listened to his music
Oh my
growing up.
gosh.
Hmm.
We should go to New York and meet him. Well, and
That'd be
hang out
cool.
with him.
Oh, that's where he lives?
Yep,
Oh, I thought he was local for some reason.
that is local.
Yeah, not for me.
Talking to Mr. New Jersey.
But
No.
yes, I will hook you up with T-Train. He's awesome. He came to Friendlies for me as well.
Aw.
Oh, he did, yeah?
Did a show there. It was beautiful.
Uh-oh. Like pulling teeth, talking to no one, talking to no one.
Oh, you saw what I wrote?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just wrote that. He's reading it.
Come on, please call back. What happened, Ruben? It dropped, or?
Okay, it's
Here
up.
we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, is this Carlo or Paul?
This is Carlo.
Hi, Carlo. It's Carol Burnett calling.
Oh my God. Hello, Miss Burnett. I just want to.
Call me Carol.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure I was okay. I'm old school. I will try to be respectful.
It's quite all right.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
It's not every day that I get to talk to a living legend, so I want to thank you.
You flatter me. Thank you.
It's an honor. I mean, and joining me today is two co-hosts who are very big fans of yours, Gisela Bella and Jerry Petito.
Hello, Carol.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi
beautiful.
And I just wanted to let you know that on behalf of us here at Animal House Radio, Hamilton Radio, and American Forces Network, you are the undisputed queen of comedy, of entertainment. And, I got a couple of emails from some soldiers that are overseas that I'm going to share with you a little later. But they wanted me to say thank you for making them laugh.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to jump right in, Carol.
Sure.
You've been entertaining for 50 plus years. I mean,
Yeah.
you were the role model and inspiration for so many people. Where did you get you? Who was around when you were growing up that you were inspired by?
Well, actually, I didn't know I was going to do this until I was 18.
Oh wow.
So I, I had entertained the idea when I was growing up of being a cartoonist and having my own comic strip in a newspaper. And then I became editor of my junior high school and Hollywood high school newspapers. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll be a journalism major, you know. And then I went to UCLA, and they didn't have a major in journalism. I could take a class and join the newspaper on campus. But then I looked in the catalog, and they had a major called Theater Arts English, which meant I could take the playwriting courses because I really wanted to be a writer.
Uh-huh.
But no matter whether you wanted to write or do whatever, as a freshman, being in the theater, under the theater wing, I had to take an acting class, I had to take a costume building class, scenery,
Oh wow.
lighting, so forth. And so when I took the acting class, I'd never done anything before. And I picked some kind of a little light scene to do, and they laughed. And I thought, oh my, this is
Felt
this is
good.
something I really enjoy. And so I went on and I auditioned for some other one-act plays at UCLA and on and on. And so I really didn't, growing up, there wasn't anybody but when I got to be older, I loved watching Sid Caesar.
Oh yeah, your show
His
of shows.
comedy,
Yeah.
just appealed to me tremendously, and the idea of doing a variety, set with sketches and different costumes and being different characters. So he was one of my first idols. And then, of course, I adored Lucy, even
Oh,
though
yeah.
I love, yeah.
yeah, even though she was the same person every week, it was a sitcom. I just admired her bravery, and she didn't care how she looked,
Right.
or and she was so brilliantly. Well, she was gorgeous, but
Yes.
she was also brilliant at slapstick and physical comedy. And so then I went to New York and hoping to be on the stage in musical comedy because I also learned that I could sing. I could belt out a tune.
Oh wow.
And that I never did until I got to UCLA. So I was kind of a late comer when you want to think about it, because I had not entertained the idea of doing this until I was out of high school.
You know what? It's amazing because the watching you on TV and seeing you, it looks like that's what you set out to do,
Yeah.
and you make it look so flawless, like you were born to
natural.
do. I mean, you were born to do it, but even though you were a late bloomer, it looks like that's what you wanted to do since you were a kid, and
I guess so. But there was one,
ain't kidding.
though. I was raised by my grandmother, and we lived in Hollywood. We moved out from Texas when I was 7. And we would save our pennies and go to the movies. And so I would come home, and I had a best girlfriend in the neighborhood. Isla Mae was her name. And we would act out some of the movies that we saw.
oh wow.
And so, for anybody who remembers who Betty Grable was, or
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Judy Garland, or
course.
those
Yes.
people. Yeah, and so we would pretend to be those people, and so that maybe was, festering inside of me, but I had no idea that would be my calling.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Jerry?
funny, we share the same that I was raised by my grandmother as well. And would you like to tell everybody about the ear tugging? Because I love
Well,
that.
well, when I got to New York and I got my first shot on television, it was on the Paul Winchell Kitty TV show. And he was a ventriloquist, and he had these. So I was the girlfriend of the dummies, and I called my grandmother in California, and I said, "Nanny, I'm going to be on television next Saturday morning. The Paul Winchell Kitty TV show." And she said, "Well, say hello to me." And I said, I don't think you're going to let me say hello, Nanny, on television. So we worked it out that I would pull my ear, and that would be the signal to her.
I
Oh,
love
wow.
Yeah, so I just kept it up even after she passed away.
Oh, wow. Jerry?
So, Carol, this is Jerry Petito. I got to see you at the State Theater last month thanks to Carlo. He got the tickets for us for your show. It was incredible, and I got to say hello to you. And I asked
great.
about giving you an interview, and you gave me your the name of your agent.
agent,
So
yeah.
so you'll be hearing from me as well. But Carlo blessed me today with this seat because I love you, and I don't have any questions for you, but I need you to know something. I've watched you since I was a little kid with my parents and grandparents, and when I got to see you live, listen, I cried through some of the show, and just saying hello to you was beautiful, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
And you should
Thank
really thank Carol, because Carol was originally supposed to go Thursday, and I told her it's divine
Yes.
intervention.
Yes.
Yes, my
Okay.
show
Divine
show
intervention.
is at 5:00 today, so I was able to come today because I thought I was going to be doing my show later, and here I am sitting in with this show. Thank you.
I'm sorry I had to cancel.
I'm glad.
Thursday, but something came. Oh, so,
That's
good.
okay. It's a
No,
good
we're
thing.
glad.
No. Carol, let me ask you. You're doing a show now. It's a tour, and you're doing laughter and reflections, and where the audience gets to ask a question.
Right.
Now, I've noticed this trend with a lot of musicians who've been in the business 30, 40, and 50 plus years. How amazing is it to you that besides the core audience that followed you so many years, you're seeing people that there's no way they could have been around when your show was
Right.
aired, and they're super fans?
Oh, it's a thrill. I'm getting fan mail now from 10-year-olds.
Yep.
Oh,
and
wow.
teenagers.
So cool.
And it's because we sold a lot of the DVDs through Time Life, and then we're on YouTube.
Yep, YouTube.
And we're on MeTV. So a lot of kids I get letters saying, I watch you when I get home from school, and
So cool.
on and on and on. And it's in fact, one of my favorite things, I tell this sometimes when I'm on tour, when I'm asked this question, about a year or so ago, there was a little boy in the audience, and, I never know what they're going to ask, and it's all random. There's no planned questions at all, because I want it to be right off the top of my head. And this little boy raised his hand, and I said, well, what's your name? And he said, Andrew. And I said, how old are you, Andrew? And he said, 9. And I said, and you know who I am? And he paused, and then he said, surprisingly, yes.
Too cute.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I
That's
wanted
great.
to take him on tour with me. He
That's
was
great.
So cute.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's a thrill. And then, a lot of younger people know me from doing Annie,
Yes,
Right,
me
right.
too.
the movie, but mostly I think it's YouTube, BTV, and the DVDs that were sold.
Oh, wow.
So great.
We actually, Ruben, who's the owner of the network, just stopped in, and he wanted to ask you a quick question.
Sure.
Hi, Carol. This is Ruben. Pleasure
Hi.
to meet you. Pleasure. Thank you for calling in the Outhouse Radio Outhouse
Sure.
Radio Show. I remember when I first watched you. I watched your show, the BURNETT show. I think I was probably around maybe 9, 10 years old. My mom is a big fan of yours, and I remember watching your show, and then also you putting together Mama's Family.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
your show, and I was following that show from your show to Mama's Family. I was going to ask you, where did the concept of Mama's Family come from on your show?
That came from the 2 writers who wrote it. They were a team, Dick Clare and Jenna McMahon, and they hated their mothers. So I remember the first time I read the script, I was amazed at, the kind of, there were no jokes. It was
Yeah.
all character driven, and to me it was just very, the epitome of a dysfunctional family. And so, but somehow, for some reason, I heard them with Southern accents. So I just picked up and started talking like that,
funny.
with a Southern accent. And Vicky and Harvey followed suit. And I remember when we would do a run through we'd get the script on a Monday, and then on Wednesdays we would do a run through for the writers and the crew and the cameraman and everybody. And when we came out with those accents, Dick and Jenna were horrified. They said, you are going to alienate the entire South. You know? And they said this because they were from Chicago.
Wow.
And I just said, oh, well, you know, that's just the way we feel. You know, it should be played. And we aired it, and we got mostly terrific response. And so we only thought it was going to be one time. So we kept doing them. I think we wound up doing 35 of them. Then the spinoff was with Vicki, with
Vicki
Mama's
Mama.
family.
Right.
But also we decided, and it was like, I forget what year it was, we did an hour and a half called Eunice. And in it, at the very last act, Mama was dead, and we're coming back from a funeral.
Oh,
And
okay.
with Betty White as my sister and Ken
Right.
Berry as my brother. And it was beautifully written by Dick and Jenna. And by that time, they were all very happy with the accents that we were using. But it came from them, those characters.
I have one more question, actually. When you were deciding on the character to play, why did you choose to play Eunice versus Mama?
Well, at first, I think they wrote it for me to be Mama and have a guest star be Eunice. But for some reason, Eunice spoke to me. And I said, I really would rather, I think I could dig into that better than I could Mama. So we were going to hire an older actress to come on board and play Mama. And it was Bob Mackey, our costume designer.
Oh.
Right.
Again,
Okay.
we thought, oh, we're only going to do it one time. So Bob said, oh, let me just put Vicki in a blue-gray wig and a body, pat her body out.
That's great.
And take the eyelashes off, put her in glasses, and let her do Mama.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh, wow.
amazing.
And it was just the best idea. And Vicki just took to it like a duck to water. You know, she was brilliant.
That was great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Carol.
You know, and I'm 16 years older than she is, and she played my Mama.
Oh, wow. Carol, speaking of Bob Mackey, I have to say, after watching so many women on TV for so many years, you were absolutely the best dressed woman on TV with those outfits. And, I know
he, he was brilliant, but I have to say, he didn't just dress me. He dressed everybody. In every sketch,
Right.
he came up with the looks for Mrs. Wiggins and Eunice
Mrs.
and all.
Wiggins.
And so he designed and executed average 65 costumes a week
Wow.
Yeah,
for 11 years. So do the math. It adds up to over 17,000 costumes that he designed
Oh, wow.
for our show.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching I apologize if the name escapes me, but you did a movie with Elizabeth Taylor,
Yeah.
and you had one of the greatest lines in movie history that I'd ever heard. You said, "I can get pleasure in bed from any man, and it doesn't have to take its toll."
I forgot that line. Thank you for reminding me.
Of course, a man would remember.
No, I just thought it was funny. You and her were brilliant.
Yes, of course the man would
Right.
remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, we became fast friends. I really loved her a lot.
yeah. Now, as far as the Carol Burnett show, that was your show. You were the in charge. Now, I know you had really great writers, but how many times did you just decide to improv scenes?
Not too much, actually. Sometimes we'd throw a line in here or there, but it was mostly Tim Conway who would go off script, and I would say 99% of the time it was pure gold.
Yes.
So we would let him go. We would do 2 shows on Friday with 2 different audiences, and we would tape both of them. And Tim would do the first show, it was around 5 o'clock, I think, in the afternoon, and the second show was around 8. And Tim would do the first show exactly the way it was written. And so he'd go to the director afterwards, and he'd say, did you get everything? And Dave, our director, said, yeah, we're fine. And then he would go totally the other way once the second show started. And we trusted him. We let him go. And the audience knew it, and they could tell. And, of course, poor Harvey, he would...
Oh, my God.
Harvey, I think it was Tim's goal in life to destroy Harvey.
That's funny.
He would take after, and Harvey prided himself on being a very serious comedic actor. But when it came to Tim, he couldn't keep it together.
All bets are off, yeah.
Yeah, all bets are off. And, we had been criticized by some, those saying, well, you shouldn't have laughed or this or that. but I wanted it to be like a live show, as if we were right on stage at a Broadway show, and you had to deal with it.
Well,
And,
it worked.
And people think that we broke up more often than we actually did, but they remember it because it was so funny.
Oh, wow. Joe?
Yeah, it's Gisela again. I have a question. For if you had to give anybody advice today to get started, what would be the one thing that you suggest for them to do?
Great question.
Oh, well, there's no one way to become successful. There's no one way. You ask me one way, and then you'd ask my chum Julie Andrews, it would be another way. You ask so and so. But what I feel is that, first of all, you have to really want it. You have to have the fire in the belly, and you have to be able to take rejection.
True.
Right.
Because you're going to get it. And I remember when I first went to New York, I finally got close to getting a small part. I think it was in a Broadway show or off-Broadway or something. And it was between me and another girl. And I really thought I had it. I really thought I had it, but I didn't. She got it. And what saved me was that, and I don't know how this came about, but this is also advice I would give. I thought to myself, well, you know what? It's her turn.
Okay.
That was a good way.
It wasn't my turn.
Okay.
My turn will come, but she was supposed to get this part, and that kept me from being discouraged.
Okay.
So you kept the fire in your belly, and you decided
Yeah.
that it wasn't your time yet, but when it was,
Well,
you would be ready.
Timing is
Right.
everything, no?
Pardon me?
Timing is everything, too, no?
Absolutely. And there was a time that I was up for an off-Broadway thing again, and the director wanted me, and I thought I had it. It was a revival of Babes in Arms, written by Richard Rodgers, and they were going to open it in Florida. And the director wanted me, but then they decided, the producers said that they wanted to go with a name. So I didn't get it, and I was really disappointed when the director called me, said, Carol, I'm so sorry, but things will happen for you. And no sooner did I hang up the phone, and about 10 minutes later, the phone rang, and it was the producers of a little off-Broadway show called Once Upon a Mattress.
Oh,
Oh,
And they
wow.
wanted me to come down and audition. And I took the subway, and I auditioned, and I got home, the phone was ringing, and I had the part. Now, had I gotten the other role, I never would have gotten the role in Once Upon a Mattress. And the other role, they closed out of town in Florida. So that door opened, and that gave me my really big Broadway break, being in Once Upon a Mattress.
Oh, wow.
and then how did you get the Gary Moore show job?
I had auditioned for Gary. He had a morning show 5 days a week, and I had some material that had been written for me for a nightclub act, and I did it in front of Gary, and he said, come on our show, and I did. So he knew me.
Oh, wow.
And then he got the nighttime show, the hour show on Tuesday nights, and I was very happy for him, and it was doing well. And the phone rang on a Sunday, and they did it live on Tuesday, and it was Gary, and Martha Ray, brilliant comedian,
Oh, yeah.
was the guest that week. Excuse me. And she had bronchitis, and they said, could you come and learn the part? So I was over there like Roadrunner, and I learned the part, and I did all the stuff, that Martha was going to do, and that gave Gary the idea to hire me and to be a regular on his show. So I remember Martha sent me flowers. She was so sweet.
Oh,
and then
wow.
later on, when I had my show, Martha was a guest several times.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Carol, I got a letter, an email, when we broadcast it that you were going to be on. His name is Richard Schofield. He's in the U.S. Army. He's in a forward area in Afghanistan, and he says that, he remembers watching you as a kid, and he's a little bit younger, but he still remembers seeing you on TV. And then when he actually got deployed over there, they don't get much TV, but AFN does reach that part of the area. He says, watching your show and watching your characters, and Vicky and Tim and Harvey said it got them through the best and the worst of times. And thank you.
Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, and
Oh my gosh.
you're, and I'm sure that sentiment is felt all over for all the servicemen and women.
Oh, that is. Well, you've made my day.
Oh well, you've made our lives. You know.
Oh, thank you.
Jerry, you had another question?
Well, I just wanted to say something. I want to piggyback off of something you said about it not being your time. And I'm sure you probably know this, but Phoebe from Friends, she put out something. She did a speech, and she was fired from Frasier.
Yes.
And she said, "Thank God I was fired from Frasier." And the speech was beautiful because it wasn't her time. And because of that, everything else, you know, she
Fell
ended
into
up being
place,
on
yeah.
Friends. And it was beautiful. So when you said that, that just touched
Yeah.
me. And you're right. And it wasn't your time. And look where you're at now. So that's beautiful.
Exactly.
That's beautiful, Carol.
Yeah.
Carol, let me ask you a question. The tour you're doing now, you've entertained for so many years. I mean, and I know, and having that tour going around is such a positive thing. It's educating people about, especially as myself as a comedian. It's and I get a little dismayed at the younger comics because they should know who came before them. But it's such a with all the nonsense going around, it's such a positive thing. But at this point in the game, is it just the fact that you can't stop entertaining people and you love it so much? Because you really don't need to tour, though.
She's incredible.
No, what am I going to do? I feel good, and the thing about it is it keeps the old gray matter ticking.
Yes.
I have to be on my toes because, as I say, that there are no planned questions, and it's totally okay. You're going to ask me a question. I'm going to have to think fast and come up, I hope, with a good
Right
answer,
answer.
a snappy answer, or what. And so that you can't be. I can't be thinking about yesterday, or I can't be thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow when I'm on that stage. I have to be in the present, and that's good for the brain.
Right.
So I get a lot out of it. Just personally being able to say, okay, that was a good show. That was fun. I had a good audience, and we had a lot of laughs, and that makes me feel good.
Right. What about the? Is there a chance that I know you've got a crazy schedule with the tour, but is there a chance we could see you on TV again?
I'm doing. It's actually next week. I'm doing a cameo for Netflix. It's a movie called Sorta Like a Rock Star, and that'll be on Netflix. And then Mad About You is doing a reboot.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm going to be a guest on one of those because I played Helen's mother all those years ago. So I'm coming back as that same character.
Oh wow, that's right. I forgot about that.
But it's just one. It's just one.
Oh,
shot,
but you can't do it to us. You got you give us it's like getting our fix. We need more.
I know, she's fantastic. I have a question from one of our listeners as well. His name is Shannon Duncan, and he says, do you have a favorite episode that you did that still stays with you until today?
Oh, no, I don't. I have a few.
Right.
There are, it's two, all those shows, I've got several of my favorites. I always loved doing Eunice, of course, and I loved doing Mrs. Wiggins with Tim as Mr. Tudball. And I also loved doing the movie takeoffs because, as I said, I was raised by my grandmother, and we'd go to the movies, and I'd come home and play act the movies, and then to get my own show, and I could be Joan Crawford, I could be Betty Grable, I could be Rita Hayworth, I could be Doris Day, I could be those people with costumes and lighting and all, and it was a thrill. And so look at Gone with the Wind, what we did with that.
Yeah.
And that was 20 minutes long. We did the whole movie in 20 minutes. And, of course, everybody remembers what Bob Mackie came up with the curtain rod dress. But also the sketch itself was brilliantly written. It was written by two of our writers, and one of them, his essay in college was on Gone with the Wind. So he knew every scene and every line and all of that. So if you watch it again, you'll see how close it is to spoofing the original. and it's, as I say, it's brilliantly written. I love, like, the line when when I've come down the stairs in the curtain rod, and Harvey says that gown is beautiful, and I said, thank you. I saw it in the window, and I just couldn't resist it.
That was great. That was
That's
great.
a brilliant line. And
Yeah.
throughout the sketch, there are brilliant lines like that.
I think you're just an improv genius.
Yes.
Throughout your whole career,
Oh,
everything that
absolutely.
you've done, including the Atlantic City and your touring, it's just amazing.
Carol, when you're sitting home and you're watching TV, who makes you laugh or what makes you laugh nowadays?
I kind of got interested in Schitt's Creek.
Oh, okay.
Did you see it?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen
I've
it.
seen the.
It's funny. It's with Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, they can do no wrong, and they make me laugh.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's got to be some testament because I mean you're the undisputed queen. So
I'm a good audience.
You do. You're really good. I have I want to thank you again for calling in, and I have a favor to ask. I don't know if you would be doing us the honor for giving our station a station ID for us.
Sure.
And
What do you want me
so
to
you
say?
would just introduce yourself and say you're listening to the Animal House radio show on the Hamilton Radio Network, and if you
Whoa.
and if you can maybe
I'm listening to the Animal House. Say it again.
you're listening to the Animal House radio show
You're listening to the Animal House radio show
on the Hamilton Radio Network.
on the Hamilton Radio Network. Okay. Hi, this is Carol Burnett. You're listening to the Animal House radio show on the Hamilton what?
Radio Network.
Hi, this is Carol Burnett. You're listening to the Animal House. Oh gosh, I should have written it down.
Somebody said to me, "Can she do it with the Tarzan call?"
It's so great.
I really can't because I have a cat
Oh no.
and she's sitting here, and I have done that a couple of times, and she freaks out
yeah, just
when she hears me do the Tarzan yell.
you know what, Carol, if you just say on the Hamilton Radio Network, we could edit that down.
Okay, on the Hamilton Radio Network.
That's perfect.
Woo!
Carol, God bless
Thank you.
I hope we've had so many more questions, but I know our time is limited. I would love to do a part 2 with you down the road.
Sure.
And thank you so much. God bless and keep entertaining us. And once
You're
again,
welcome.
And if you ever want to produce the Animal House radio show,
yeah, right. We need all the help
we're
we
a
can
bunch of
get.
animals here.
God bless.
Thank
Carol
you.
Burnett.
Thank you,
Love
Carol.
you.
Carol Burnett, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
She's amazing. Oh my
Boy,
God.
that was good. That went better than I thought it
You
was.
guys made my day.
Thank
I
you.
wasn't all gushy either.
You guys made my day.